Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. The Caitlyn trailer for 2XKO has just come out, and I got a few things to say. So, you know how we do trailer breakdowns on the channel, right? I'm in a little bit of a weird position right now, as I was recently at Riot headquarters and played Caitlyn. That said, I'm also not allowed to go into explicit details about certain character mechanics yet. So for the trailer breakdown, what I'm going to be doing is kind of letting the trailer speak for itself, although I'll help turn the volume up a little bit if you catch my drift. I just don't want to do the thing where I'm pretending I've never seen this before because, that's a little silly. I will say Caitlyn's a lot of fun. And yes, that's me saying that, right? The big character player says that Caitlyn's fun. Not the least of which is I think she has incredible synergy with Braum. And you might say, well, how does Braum have synergy with anybody? Braum kind of sucks, right? Well, Braum might be a little bit different after the patch. Let's put it that way. So I think they're super synergistic together. I'll leave it at that for now. And there's a lot of really cool things going on with Caitlyn here. So let's do what we do on the channel here. Let's rewind back to the start. And let's go through everything that we can talk about. So to start off, hey, she has her more classical League of Legends inspired look with the big top hat and all that. Although don't worry, Arcane fans, yes, there is an Arcane skin. Now for gameplay, again, I myself cannot go into specifics at the moment, but I can let the trailer speak for itself. And wouldn't you see this, that she has some sort of back roll that can go directly into multiple gunshots. And the gunshots can control a wide variety of angles that you can see. Also, the fact that after the first gunshot going upwards, she can do another kind of roll. So the trailer makes it look like that you can either roll then shoot, or even just shoot then roll after the fact. And then we have a little bit of a blue spark on that second gunshot. Maybe that's a little special because it has an effect and causes a wall bounce. So if you're following along now, gun stuff. And that's going to keep going here because, we have multiple aerial gunshots. And also Caitlyn famous for the traps. And you better believe that's very much in effect. And just like League of Legends, this ain't no Teemo trap where it just pops you and explodes, right? You are stuck. This is a capture state, it would seem. That's what the trailer's showing, right? And from this capture state, she has this backwards kick that can just launch you and then pop you in the air. And again, shoot, cancel into the roll into this blue electric shot that wall bounces. And then using this time from the wall bounce to set up more traps. Avoids the wake up and then uses that roll not to shoot but to attack and knock Ari into the trap and then keep comboing and juggling and then shooting her in the face from there. The roll could also be used for evasion, it would seem from the trailer. And also, given this throw, this is like, I'm sure must be her regular throw, but this is like command grab worthy. It's a gigantic dunk. Very satisfying looking. Now, this next part's interesting. So Yasuo's dummy goes into the trap, gets knocked down, and then going by what the trailer is presenting to us, it would appear that Caitlyn can manually aim her shots to a degree. We'll slow it down a bit more here, but you can see kind of like a lock on. You can see her kind of raising the barrel of the rifle to the shot. And here with the air juggle coming up next, after spiking the opponent down after switching sides, you can see manually, apparently by the trailer, aiming down. Make of that what you will. Certainly no happy chaos auto zoning. And just speaking of zoning, so we have the traps, we have the gunshots, and then we have this. We have a big old bola shot, which creates another capture state. Now again, I'm not allowed to go into specifics, although I'm allowed to talk some impressions. And with all these traps and capture states and stuff and the way her zoning works, the moment I started playing her like a NetherRealm Studios game, like Injustice or Mortal Kombat, that's when she started making a lot more sense to me. I'll just say that. So capture states for days is what we're getting out of Caitlyn from the trailer. And then we have the super move. So again, from earlier in the trailer makes it look like she can aim her gun manually. And this sure looks like she's calling her shot picking Alawi out of the sky. Is she manually targeting Alawi? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now moving on here, we're going to go versus Blitzcrank. So unfavorable situation, guess the grab strike, right? And she can just jump and hit him out of the grab, be airborne. And again, into shot, then the blue spark shot follow-up, which causes a wall bounce. Interesting. Set up the trap, which Blitz smartly avoids into, oh no, whoops, into the trap anyways. So between the rifle and the pistol, she has multiple anti-air angles, so it's not just going to be free to get in on her if she's, not asleep at the wheel. And then there's this. Again, I cannot go into specifics. I gotta let the trailer speak for itself. So what could that be? It's just really hard to guess, right? Now here is the Arcane skin. Arcane Caitlyn fans, I'm sure you're over the moon. Recreating the outfit from the iconic scene where Herr Kiramin gasses all the homeless and poor people in Zaun. Really winning the battle for hearts and minds. We all love her for it. And in our next shot, we would see some shenanigans from the trailer. The trailer would make it look like that her role that we've seen several times can switch sides with the enemy, definitely meaning there's a lot of potential assist gimmicks. And given that we see Warwick is crouching, gets bobbed here, this dive kick looking move would apparently be an overhead as well. And have a gander that she's canceling that into the trap toss as well, so the trap is sitting there. And then she tosses that weird shield that I definitely don't know anything about. Now, it might not be a shield to be fair. It could be like a buckler. It could be a targe. It could be an aegis. And it must be made of rubber or something because Warwick just keeps bouncing off it over and over and over. It's just like reflecting them all over the place. Unfortunately, I'm just not allowed to talk about it right now. I'll have to do that in a later video. So you'll just have to go by what the trailer's telling you, however confusing it may be at the moment. And then we go to the other super we saw before, and again, she's kind of aiming it would seem, from the trailer. Last time we saw it here, aiming upwards to hit Alawi up in the air. Here, Warwick, though, is sort of point blank, right? So is there a reason to aim beyond just hitting the enemy? Looks cool at a minimum anyways. Very satisfying, gigantic blast. Also satisfying is cool stuff, right? And apparently the role, going by the trailer, can just straight up go under projectiles, which will definitely help her win zoning and counter zoning wars. Also, to help win zoning and counter zoning wars, look at this. So she jumps up, tosses her trap, but then immediately shoots the trap, and it would seem the bullet ricochets off the trap, going by the trailer, and hits the enemy. So that gives her really strong, just like angles of control for zoning. And then there's the fact that she seemingly air dashes afterwards. Not necessarily an Ari style air dash, but she dashes in the air and jumps and hits the enemy after the fact. So make of it what you will. Full conversion from an aerial shot at bare minimum, which seems pretty okay. Launches the opponent up. We see that jump kick that kind of swaps sides with the enemy we've seen several times. Grounded shot into that air dash again. More conversions. So we keep the combo going. We're going to call in the Vi assist. And again, we're going to use some unique synergy here because we're going to bounce them back into it for the wall bounce. And then the big cinematic level 3, which, maybe not as flashy as some, but it is very on brand. So rocket the opponent up here. We're changing a shot here, different skin. But yeah, just one shot, one kill, right? The big sniper shot. That's exactly the brand of Caitlyn. That's exactly what you want. And that's exactly what we get. So that's really cool. That's Caitlyn. Again, I like her. I'm not normally predisposed towards zoners, but I had a blast with her personally. In time, I'll be able to cover her in more depth and detail, speak more explicitly about my experiences. So for here, I let the trailer do a lot of the talking and you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. But really cool. She's out the 20th or the 21st, depending on your time zone. This will launch with a balance patch, and I can't go into specifics yet, but I think a lot of y'all, especially for the fans of the lesser played or just straight up lesser characters of the game, people who aren't Yasuo, Echo, or Ari, right? You'll find some fun stuff there. And basically, when we're allowed to, I'll cover everything in a lot more depth. But with Caitlyn and the big patch coming with her, consider this the actual launch of the game. No more early access. The game is actually out as of the time Caitlyn and everything else drops. Not the least of which it'll be playable on console. And in case you're unaware, everything is tied to your account. So if you've already played 2XKO and you've unlocked skins or whatever, and you go on to console, all that stuff will be unlocked for you on console as well. Crossplay and cross progression. And that'll be the case going forward. So if you unlock stuff on console, then later want to switch to PC, you'll still keep everything regardless. So there's a lot more interesting stuff here. A lot of things I can't talk about just yet. Wait for the footage. But cool times are ahead. 2XKO is finally actually coming out after I don't even know how many years it's been. So look forward to it. I am anyways. But that said, my friends, that's the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some 2XKO. I would say anyways. Might as well just let the super play out. Just the video ends better that way. All right, and then she's gonna do the wind pose, and now we're out.